So, hello again, YouTube. I'm trying to be quiet because I was going to take you guys down to the lake on one of the campsites that I really like here on my lake. And I got all the way almost to the campsite and saw a tent, which kind of means it's time to turn around. But I did see, look at how big that stump is. That tree was so big. It's very impressive. And it's just a beautiful morning. Yet again, I am filming this and then I'm going to go home and immediately upload it because I was playing Phasmo too long last night and I didn't get a video made. Which is why I think I'm going to have to start streaming Phasmo more often because at least then it's kind of content. Although to be fair, not everything in my life has to be content. I need to remember that. It's the classic YouTube trap. So how is everybody doing? We cooled off a little bit. Also, I'm kind of hoping it comes back, but now that I'm talking, it probably won't. When I was walking this way, I saw a deer standing about right here, probably eating all of these acorns, which is what you hear falling off the trees. A bounty of the forest. It amazes me that people used to use acorn flour, because from what I understand, it is bitter. I think there's ways to leach the tannins out of it, but ugh. I would have to be very hungry to eat acorns. I would have to be very hungry to eat a lot of things because I'm too picky. Thumbs up in the chat though if you're picky. I see you, I feel you if you're a picky person like me. But yeah, the blueberries, I've seen one or two, and I have a little bit of guilt in the back of my mind that I never did get back out and really get more picking done before they started to fade. But at the same time, I got a lot. Probably not enough to keep us going all winter, especially not now that there's 4 of us. But I did get a bunch of them, so they can be a good winter treat. And honestly, isn't that really all that matters? Probably not. All right, we've come to a fork in the road. I think we're going up. Well, that way there's a truck, but I think we're going that way anyway. Oh, I do have kind of news, and this is still tentative. It's not 100% nailed down, but I think me and the boys, at least 2 of them, 2 of the 3 that I live with, I think we're going to take a road trip and just hit some stuff downstate. Because it's been a couple years since I ventured down below the bridge. I think the last time I went down there was for the eclipse. So I guess that was only a year or so ago. But yeah, we were talking about doing a road trip. And I think right now we have tentatively kind of a Lake Michigan, Lake Huron circle tour. I've never been to Sleeping Bear Dunes in my life. And we were talking about maybe hitting that. We were also talking about either on the way down or on the way back up, starting and marking our place in either Paradise, Michigan, which is up here in the Upper Peninsula, a real town, thank you very much, or starting in Hell, Michigan, a real town in Michigan, thank you very much, down in the Lower Peninsula, and at least doing a little video and titling it From Heaven to Hell in Michigan, or From Hell to Heaven. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition, but I think it would be funny. And if nothing else, I have been to Paradise a few times, but I've never been to Hell, Michigan. It's kind of funny because they usually do a thing where they're like, hell has frozen over. Also, I just saw a person, so we're going to pause. All right. Neighbor talk to. I mean, I guess everybody is a neighbor when we all live on the same lake. And we continue with our walk. Have I forgotten completely what we were talking about? Yes. Because my brain holds a thought for about 2.5 seconds. Were we talking about blueberries? That might have been what I was talking about with the neighbor. We were all talking about how once it got hot, we all kind of gave up on picking. Which is ironic because there were some really hot days that I was picking berries. But I think the longer the heat went on, the more it just kind of wore on me. And that's no fun. I do love a good morning walk. I like a good late afternoon, like evening walk too. But there's something about the morning. All the birds are doing their tweeting, which is kind of cool. And it's usually cool enough that it's comfortable. Of course, once it actually gets cold, I switch to middle of day walk. Because that's when you want to be warm instead of freezing your butt off. I am not ready for winter. I don't know about you guys, because I don't know where everybody lives. But if you live in a place where it gets really cold and gets lots of snow, then you're probably in the same boat as me in hoping that we get a nice long autumn. No guarantee of that. In fact, no guarantee of much of anything in life, but a nice long autumn sounds delightful. Especially since if we do take this road trip, and I say if, there's a few factors. I think if we take the trip, I have to go and check and see how much it would cost to rent a car for it. Because my car is getting to the point where it's fine and it's reliable enough, but it's also, I think it's a 2014, which in my head still sounds new. And then I stop and do the calculations and realize that it's not new anymore. It's not even like close to new anymore. And it's getting to that age where it's starting to flash lights at me more often. In fact, I need to take it in and get a oil change and have them check my brake fluid and that kind of stuff, because my ABS light came on. And I did some Googling, and they said the first thing you need to check is the brake fluid. Me being me, I don't exactly know where that is on this car. So since I'm due for an oil change anyway, maybe I'll get it a checkup. But yeah, I would hate to get like to the middle of the Mackinac Bridge and have my car break down. I say that because when I moved the boys to Ohio, however many years ago that was, we were barely a quarter of the way along, and the car decided to develop an issue, which meant when we got down to Columbus, the very first thing I had to do was find someone to fix my car, which is so much more expensive when you're away from home because you don't know who's good, who's bad. and you just kind of take the first place that says that they have an appointment. And I don't want to deal with that again. So I guess the first thing we have to do is find a place where I can rent a car. Make sure it has unlimited miles, because just, yeah, we're going to put some miles on it. And then, you know, plan the best time to do it. I'm kind of thinking sometime between the middle of September and the middle of October. And then maybe we can see some pretty fall colors too. I think it'll be nice. I would love to also stop and go to the Renaissance Festival, which will be running downstate. But I think with renting a car, etc., that might not be financially on the cards. Maybe another year, though. It's really hard for me to decide that it's okay to just travel for travel's sake. And it's funny because I thought that I was going to have to take a trip down to Tennessee to deal with some paperwork from when I lived down there. And it turns out I'm not going to have to do that. Everything can be done with notary publics and the good old post office. But that got me thinking about a road trip. And that's when I was like, maybe I don't actually have to have an excuse, put some heavy air quotes around it, to take one. So we'll see. If we do go, I will try to work hard and at least bank whatever book we're reading and make sure that that's going up. And then, of course, we'll probably just toss up a bunch of shorts while we're traveling. And then make a couple of videos once I get home. But I think mostly it's just going to be kind of going and enjoying ourselves. It's funny, though, because the minute I leave home, I miss it. I'm not agoraphobic. I swear. I just like my home best of all. And who could blame me? Look at it. It's beautiful. Even when it's like snowy and gross, it's beautiful. Hear the wind whispering in the trees, and it just makes me happy. But I think the best part about traveling anywhere is you appreciate being home. And also, if we stay in any hotels, I appreciate hotel beds. That's going to be something that I'm going to have to put on my list of things that I want to buy soon. Probably need a new mattress or mattress topper. So Helix, if you want to sponsor me, send me a mattress. I'll review it. She says, chuckling, knowing that that will never happen. Anyway, I think that I am probably going to turn you guys off and just kind of exist in nature for a while and enjoy my walk. But thank you for coming with me. Let me know if you've ever been in Michigan and kind of hugged either the Lake Michigan or Lake Huron coast. Let me know if there's anything fun, unusual, or haunted that I should stop and see. Also, any place in northern Ohio. I've thought about the Shawshank place, but I've also heard it's kind of touristy and very, very crowded. And I really want a chill trip, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming for a walk with me. And I'll see you next time.